Right. So, Bob, let's go ahead and start our session. And the first thing
Okay.
we'll do is some justification, some questions that you need to answer and provide your justification. All right?
Sorry teacher, I wanna ask Quang.
Yep.
Quang ơi, con ở nhà
Yeah.
không? Hay con đang trên xe?
Không, em đang ở nhà.
Bật cam lên, bật camera lên. Cô yêu cầu học online là chúng ta sẽ bật camera toàn bộ quá trình nhá. Để thứ nhất là thầy giáo cũng bật camera và em phải bật lên để thầy giáo còn tương tác với em. Thì bây giờ thầy dạy ai? Và xoay camera thẳng mặt luôn chứ không phải để trên trán trên đầu đâu. Để làm sao mà cho hai thầy trò tương tác với nhau ấy. Không phải để thầy giáo nhìn thấy mỗi trán, cô nhìn thấy mỗi trán thôi. Không thấy mặt, không thấy miệng gì cả để mà cô thầy còn chỉnh âm, phát âm các kiểu chứ. Nhá. Ok, thank you. Teacher. Ok.
Yeah. All right, Bob. So, can you please pick the first number?
Number 7.
Number 7. So, number 7 says the best fairy tale. When you were a child, did you used to watch any fairy tales?
Never. I never watched
Never.
some fairy tale.
All right. So why? Why you don't watch them?
I don't like movie.
You don't like movies in general or fairy tales in
Yeah.
particular? Fairy tales in particular. So you need to provide reasons all the time, all right? So remember that. And you'll have about 15 seconds, right? So make sure to keep an eye on the time as you are providing your justification, okay?
Okay.
All right. So the first one, all right, I'll give it to you. Right, okay. So the second one,
1.
number 1. What is your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is green.
Why do you like it?
Yeah, because it's very cool and
Green is the color of what in specific?
what?
Right, you could say that green probably is the color of nature, right?
Okay.
Yeah, green, what does it represent? Probably it's the color of nature, or you might give any reasons, like maybe you like to wear clothes that are green, maybe.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, next one,
Number 4.
number 4. Your favorite food?
Is pizza. Pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Because it's very delicious and it's fast food.
It's fast food, all right. Do you make it at home or do you buy it outside?
What?
Do you make it at home or do you buy it outside?
I buy outside.
Buy it outside. Okay. Nice. Good. So pizza, fast food. Okay, I'll give you the point. Next one.
Number 2.
Number 2. When you eat fruit, what do you prefer? What kind of fruit do you prefer?
I prefer watermelon
Mhm.
because
Always.
it's very delicious and it's wet.
It is
Uh,
wet. Okay.
have a lot
And
of water.
yes, exactly. We wouldn't say it is wet. We would say it contains a lot of water. And maybe you could also use the adjective
Mm.
refreshing. Watermelon would be refreshing, right? Especially when it's very hot. Like nowadays, it is super hot, right?
Yes.
And in this another adjective we could use is scorching.
Scorching.
Yeah, the weather is scorching hot, or it is scorching hot outside. So you need to drink a lot of water and you need to eat many kinds of fruits that are refreshing and that contain water, like you said, watermelon. Yep. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Number 3, please.
What is your favorite musical instrument?
My favorite musical instrument is drum.
Drum. Okay. Do you play it or you just prefer to listen to it?
I prepare. No, I have once time play.
Oh, you tried it once?
Yeah.
Okay. Where was that?
I forget, but it's very interesting.
It was very interesting. All right. Nice. Good. Let's have a couple more. Number
5.
number 5. Favorite class or favorite subject?
My first class is English
English. Why do you prefer English?
because English is very interesting and I want to um, communicate with teacher.
Nice. So, one thing to pay attention to there is the use of extreme adjectives. You remember we talked about extreme adjectives, like those adjectives that have very, like very good, very bad, very interesting, very, yeah.
Mm.
So instead of saying that English is very interesting, we can say that English is, what kind of language is English? Do people speak it in just one country or it is spoken all over the world?
Just one country.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so English is spoken in the United States of America, in Canada, in South Africa, in Australia, even here in Vietnam. You're learning English, right?
Yeah.
Because you are going to use it probably when you go to university. Yeah.
Yes.
And when people travel, like when foreigners come here to Vietnam, what language do they use to talk to?
English.
Yeah, so they use English basically. So English, we could say it's an international language, right?
Oh, okay.
All right, so we can use international,
International.
or we can use it's a global language, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Or you can also say that it is the first language in the world, right? So everybody in the world speaks English to communicate with people from different backgrounds. Good. Okay. Still have 3. Number
6.
6. The animal that scares you the most.
I scare spiders the most
Okay.
because it have a lot of legs.
All right. How many legs do you know? I'm not really sure, but I could
8
probably
or
count them there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, around 8, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, spiders have many legs, as you said, and they are scary. Do they bite?
what?
Do they bite? No, bite.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
some of them
they're
might bite, right?
dangerous.
Some of them are venomous. They have venom.
Yes, I
Venom
know.
like snakes have venom. So that is very dangerous. If it gets into our body, it might cause some problems, some complications. And we might even die because of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said, Bob, you said I scare, what was that? I scare
I scare spider.
spider. Yeah. So if you say I scare spider, that means that the spider is afraid of you. You scare it and it runs away. So
Mm,
you should say, I am scared,
I'm scared.
right? So you use the structure, I'm scared of something, okay, of spiders, let's say, right? Maybe you can also say, if you don't like something, like some animals, you don't like to come near them, or you don't like them to touch you or something, you can say, I can't stand, right? I can't stand spiders, right? Because they are maybe furry, right? Fur, you know, fur, F-U-R,
No,
fur, they have fur. It's like a little hair. Some animals have fur.
I know.
Yeah. So some people don't like those kind of animals that have fur. Nice. Okay, so moving on to the last two. We have 8 and 9.
9.
9. Favorite pet?
My favorite pet is cat.
Cat.
Because,
All right. Do you have one?
Yes,
Nice. Okay, so what can you tell me about a cat? Why do you like them?
because it's cute and it's always closest with people.
It's pretty close to people. Okay. Yeah. Um, do cats follow your instructions? Like when you tell a cat to sit down or to come or to go somewhere?
Maybe
A little bit,
sometimes.
right? Yeah. So if somebody or if an animal follows instructions and directions, we can use the adjective obedient, obedient, which means they follow your instructions. You tell them something, they do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Are you an obedient boy, Bob?
Uh, Sit or run.
All right. Obedient. Okay. So last one. Last one says weather. So what kind of weather do you prefer the most?
I like the rainy best because
You
it's
like rainy weather?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because it make me feel relaxed.
All right. And what do you like to do when it's raining?
Drink coffee or do homework.
All right. And you prefer to stay at home or go somewhere?
On the home.
Oh, okay. So you stay at home, you drink coffee, and you enjoy probably the view from your window.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. All right, Bob. So now we have something else to focus on. And do you remember? Okay, I need to go back here. Last time we talked about some verbs to describe changes when it comes to line graphs. Okay, so can you please remind me of the verbs? So the noun is a rise. What is the infinitive and what is the past of that?
Mm. What do you mean? I don't know.
Okay, all right, so I'm not sure, let's see. Oh, okay. Need to project. Can you see my screen here? Can you see verb
Yeah.
and infinitive, past, and noun? Nice. So last time we worked on this one here, and we talked about these verbs that we can use to describe changes. Okay. So the first one is a rise. It's a noun. What is the verb form of that?
Mm.
It is.
I don't know.
It is to rise.
To rise.
And the verb in the past is, what is the past of rise?
Rise. Rise.
It is an irregular verb, so we will change it to
Rose.
rose. Yeah, so rise, rose. And the noun form is rise,
Alright.
just like the verb. Nice. Let's move on to increased. It's the verb in the past. What is the infinitive of increased?
To increase.
Nice. Very good, Bob. To increase. And the noun?
Increase.
Okay, are we going to use a or an article? N, because no, we're gonna use n because we have a word that starts with a vowel. And you know, when we have vowels in the beginning, we need to use n because it's difficult to say increase, right? So we need n to make it easier, an increase. All right. Moving on to number 5. So went up, it's in the past. What would be the infinitive?
To go up.
Excellent, yeah. To go up. To go up, went up, and we don't have a noun form, right?
Yeah.
We don't have it. Yeah. So we cannot say go or going or something like that. No. Right. So the infinitive of fell.
Fall. To fall.
All right. Right. So fall. Can you say it again? Fall.
Fall.
Fall. Yes.
Fall.
So fall, fell. Sorry, I forgot to here. An infinitive. So let's add it. Good. To fall. And the noun is
A fall.
a fall.
A fall.
Number 8. We have a noun there, which is a decrease. The verb in the infinitive is
to decrease.
to decrease. Yeah. To decrease. Good. Verb in the past.
Decrease.
Decreased. So it's
Decrease.
a sound. Decrease. Decrease.
Decrease.
Okay.
Decrease.
Make sure not to use the.
The.
Use decreased.
Decrease.
All right. Yeah. So a noun here would be decrease. Okay. So in the noun form, we would use a decrease.
To go down.
To go down.
To went down.
Are we going to use to?
To went down.
Why are you using to? It's just the past. We don't use to, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna be
went down.
Went down, right? And of course, we don't have any noun for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let me clear this. Okay. Now, Bob, we're going to go to exercise 14.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to read the short descriptions and choose the correct answer, A, B, or C.
Okay.
Right. So I would like you to take a couple of seconds first, take a look at it, think about it, and then we're going to go ahead and provide me with the answers.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Bob, that will do. So you may go ahead and read the short
Okay.
description and provide your answer. You start from the beginning, the percentage.
Mm, the the percentage of people with smartphone increased from 38% in 2010 to 62% in 2015. In the future, this rise will continue at the end of period in 2025. This percentage will finish on 86%.
Yeah, it will finish on 86%. Good. So I would like you to focus on some words here when it comes to pronunciation. The first one, this one. Sometimes we can spell it and sometimes we can use the symbol, right? The next one would be this will okay, this one here. And yeah, that is it. Good. So this one here is percentage.
Percentage.
Yeah, percentage. This one here wouldn't be percentage, it would be just 62%. Yeah, so make sure to stress the second syllable, percent, 62%, percent. Right, nice. And this one here at the end of the period.
Period.
Period. Right, at the end of the period in 2025 or 2025, you may choose which way to read it. Nice, good job, Bob. Your answers are all correct. Now we're going to apply some of that and make sure to keep an eye on the verbs, all right? So the verbs that we have are increase, and what else do we have? Yeah, so we have rise, increase, go up, fall, decrease, and go down, okay?
Okay.
If you need them, you can go back to the exercise to take a look at them. So what I want you to do is to look at the line graph and use the language that we use in exercise 12 to describe the way each line in the graph changes. So Bob, first, what do we have here? What is this visual about?
Percentage of people who are the divide from 2010 to 2025.
Good. So what is own? What do you understand by own? When we own a device, it means that we... So for example, Bob, I own this phone, this device. I own it. It means that I...
It's your.
Yeah, very good. I have it. I own it. Okay, other words for own would be own, have, and probably another one is possess. When you possess something, it's yours. You own it. Okay, so we have the percentage of people who possess, who own devices from 2010 to 2025. Good. And what are these devices, Bob?
Smartphone,
yes,
smartwatch, and tablet.
Good. So we have 4 kinds of devices, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now, I will first focus on each one of the devices alone, and then we can talk about how to group them. Now, I would like you to start with laptop, right? So what can you tell me about laptops in this period, which means from 2010 to 2015. What happened?
It's 4.
Okay, look here. What happened here? 2010 to 2015. It was like around 60, and then in 2015 it's
17.
70. So what happened?
It went up.
It went up. Very good. And you used the correct verb tense, because if we look at the years, this is 2010 and this is 2015. Both of them are in the past, right? So we need to use past tense, right? Simple past. And then from 2015 to 2020, what happened?
It's good went down.
Went down. Did it go down significantly or just slightly? Just a little bit, slightly.
This little bit.
Just a little bit. So we would use slightly. It slightly went down. Right? Slightly means a little bit, right? In writing, task 1, we would not use a little bit, right? We need to use an adverb that is like slightly, would be much better there, okay?
Okay.
And then what happened in this period, 2020, 2025? We're still talking about laptop.
It went down.
It went down. So when we have a line that is going down, because you could see this is number 1, okay? Here would be number 2, and this one is number 3, right?
Yeah.
So because in the second period it was going down, right? The third one we would use continue to. It continued to go down, but we need to be careful, Bob, here, because we have 2025. 2025 is present or future? Yes, Bob? 2025. Is it in the past, in the present, or in the future?
It's in the future.
Right, so it's in the future. In this case, we would use it will continue to go down, or it will continue to fall. But okay, so we can use it will continue to, or because we don't know for sure what's going to happen in the future. Sometimes we can use the passive, and we can say it is predicted. It is predicted to, yeah, we just think it will go down, continue to go down. It is predicted to continue going down, all right? Yeah, so you can use one of these structures. Now let's move on to something else, Bob. I would like you to tell me about smartphones. Now you know the way to do it. So I would like you to start with the first period, and then the second period, and the third period, okay?
Okay.
Right.
Smartphone is the first period is go up, but
Okay, so it's in
of
the past. It's in the past. Can we use go up?
it's in the past and it's go up.
Okay, but it's in the past. You look at the years, 2010 and 2015.
Yeah.
So are we going to use go up or went up?
Went up.
Right. So in the period, in the first period, which is like
in the second period, it went up.
It continued to,
it continued to went up,
right?
and
Yeah.
in the third period, it continued to go up.
It continued to. Now, in number 2, we can use it continued to go up because it's in the past, right? But number 3, period number 3, we cannot use it continued to because it's a period that will
Future.
touch on the future, right? So it is predicted. Maybe you could use it is predicted to continue rising. Okay, so make sure to change go up, Bob. You have rise, and you have go up, and you have increase. So make sure to change. Don't use the same verbs again and again, okay? For decrease, you can use decrease, and you can use fall, and go down. Yeah. Right?
Okay.
But I want you to change them. In period number 1, you could use maybe rise. Period number 2, don't use rise, use go up. And period number 3, change it to increase again, okay?
Okay.
Nice. Now let's move on to, you talked about smartphones and you talked about
Smartwatch.
laptops. Let's move on to smartwatch.
Yeah, in the first grade, first part.
First part, okay. Can you be specific? Can you tell me the period from to?
2010 to 2015.
All right, from 2010 to 2015, what happened?
It's rise. It's rise. And
Okay.
And
So let me, yes. From 20, you said 2010 to 2015. You're talking about smartwatch.
yeah.
Yeah. And we are talking about people owning smartwatches. So the noun is ownership. The ownership of smart watches. What happened to it?
Right.
Okay, past. What is the
Rose.
past of rose? Yeah, the ownership of smartwatches rose. Can you tell me the percentage? The percentage of that
0% to
from
8%.
Maybe less than 8. Probably it looks like in the middle. It looks like 5 to me. Yeah, because it's in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So we could say the ownership of smartwatches rose by about. When we are not sure, we can use about. Or if you want another word, you could use approximately. Approximately. So rose by about or approximately 5%. Okay. Now that is for the first period. Now tell me about the second period, Bob.
From 2015 to 2020, the ownership of smartwatches went up by about 50%.
Yes, 15%, right. And if you want to change, because the idea here is we need to change all the time. We shouldn't use the same structures. So in the first period, you used by. In this one, you could mention the numbers, the figures went up from 5% to
went up 5% to 20%.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Right. The last period, which is from 2020 to 2025, what happened during this period?
The owner's market uh, in increased by about 14 percent.
40%. We have 20%, and then it went up to 40. So how much is that? Are you good at math, Bob?
No, I'm very bad.
All right, so from 20 to 40, how much is that? It's just 20,
20.
right? 20. So it increased or by 20%. Yep. We still have one, which is tablet.
Tablet.
Right.
The period, the ownership
The
of
period.
tablet.
Okay, so what are you going to start with? Ownership or the period? You can start with either one of them, but just can you start again?
From 2010 to 2015, the ownership of tablet went up by about went up 30%.
Okay, so Bob, because I see now that you're using the verbs, and that is very good. Now let's try to use the noun forms of these verbs. Okay, so the noun forms of these verbs are we have rise and we have increase, go up. We don't have for noun form, good. And then here we have decrease and we have fall, right? Okay, so in the first period, you said from 2010 to 2015, the ownership of tablets, we can say saw an increase or witnessed an increase or witnessed a rise. Yeah. So you can use these expressions. Or you could say, basically, there was an increase in the period from to, okay? Or there was a rise, yeah? So you can use any one of these expressions or these structures. Yeah. Continue, please.
And the tablet, there was an increase 50% to 60%.
50, sorry. The first period, you mean, Bob?
What?
Tablets, first period, we have 20 to about 50, and then second one, 50 to 60, all right? What about the third period?
20% to 50%.
60 actually to about 55. Yeah. I need to clear this area so that you can see it. But you can use your book to make sure of the exact figures. But the third period. In the third period, again, Bob, remember, always keep an eye on the years, right? Because the third period, we are not going to use the past. We are going to use more or less a verb tense that allow us to predict, like it is predicted, it is set to, or something like that. So in the third, like on the third one, we would use it is predicted to go down to about 55%. It refers back to ownership. So we don't have to repeat the word ownership every time, right? We can either use a synonym or we can use some pronouns like it or people. We can also use people are predicted to have or to own or to possess. You remember the three synonyms for own? You have own, have, possess. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So Bob, your homework is to write a paragraph, right? And you need to bring it with you next time, next class. It's going to be about the same thing that we discussed here, right? Now we did it orally, but I need to see it written on a piece of paper. I would like you to write about the changes that happened in this visual here, okay?
Okay.
All right. So make sure to use some of the language that we used, all right? And be careful with the years, especially the third period, which is 2020, 2025. Okay, so make sure to use some of this. Did you take notes of these expressions?
I will take a picture.
Okay, make sure to take a screenshot. That's much better. Yeah.
Okay.
Take it right now.
Yes. I take it.
Yeah. All right. There it is here. Good. Then we will not touch upon it. Right. So next class we are going to continue doing some speaking activities, and we're going to talk about these gadgets. So make sure also to take a look at these gadgets here or these equipments and try to annotate, try to write their names in English if you know them, right?
Okay.
So if not, you might use translator to get some of those that you don't know, right? Okay, we'll talk about these next class.
Okay.
All right. Until then, take care. And
Yeah.
see you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye.
See you.
See you.